Have you had any conversations with your team about everything that's going on right now?
I think we're communicating every day with the guys. Zach's doing a tremendous job with all that's going on in the world and addressing things. We certainly have as a defense as well. And, it's just we're all dealing with things for the first time in all of our lives. So we're just trying to have some conversations at times about what, best thing to do and how to go about it. And, and by the same token, we got work to do too. It's hard, it's a tough balance. So, but we're trying to talk to the guys as much as possible.
Have you had any communication with Mackenzie Alexander since he left training camp?
Yeah, I'm going to let Zach handle all the Mackenzie questions, guys. All right, so just because that's how we want to handle it, okay?
Who do you plan on putting in there at slot today? I mean, if Mackenzie's out for an extended period of time? I mean, what does that slot look like?
Yeah, first I'm going out there first, and then Jordan Kovacs, and then followed by Colt Anderson.
Surely you got somebody with a little more juice that could. No offense to y'all, but surely you got somebody a little more juice that can play in the slot.
I just ran 10 sprints. No, I'm kidding. Yeah, so no, we're good. We've got plenty of able-bodied guys that we can do it. Man that spot. Darius Phillips played for us last year there. Torrey McTyer took some snaps there. Tony Brown takes some snaps there. So we got some guys that can to man the position for sure.
I mean, would you want to move in that case? Would you want to move Phillips? And it looks like y'all repped him a little bit at outside. I mean, do you feel like he's better suited on the outside than the slot? I mean, how do you balance that with him?
Well, anytime a corner can do both, it's always a positive. So you want to have guys that can jump inside, jump outside. A lot of the things we do, all the corners know some of the techniques that we use in there. So we feel comfortable with certainly DP either inside or out.
With respect to guys like Darius, it gives you that position versatility. Just from what you've seen, I know it's a small sample size, this training camp, Coach, but what you've seen based on last year to this year, are guys really, I mean, is the light gone on for a lot of guys with what you're looking for? Yeah,
and I think, like we said, it's certainly a unique time and with less time, but we're telling the rookies on down to the vets that there's no time to. It's like when you go into the pool or to the ocean, you got to just jump in. You can't, you walk in slow, you're cold, you're all this. There's none of that this year because of the way everything is. So you just got to jump in, and the young guys are in the deep end right away, and most of them have done a really good job of taking advantage of all the Zoom meetings and all that stuff. So it's so far so good.
Coach, your defense lost the scrimmage last week. What are you hoping to see from the squad on this week's scrimmage on Sunday?
Well, I mean, we had our pluses and minuses. I think the next day, where you guys weren't there, we had a nice day. So yeah, just consistency. It's always about consistency, and same type of things. Making sure that. First and foremost, we stop, there is no run game, and we have to continue to build on that. And then, no explosive plays. It never changes. The mixture or what we're looking for, to be successful has to always, those things never change. And big plays and limiting the run game, that's where it starts.
How have the additions and free agents, those two things you're talking about, the run game and the cut down on explosive, how is Reeder, Daniels, Bell, how do they fit into that?
Yeah, they've been doing well. They've been doing well. Each guy in their own way has done a really solid job so far, and those guys they've made their presence felt both on the field and in the locker room, which has been great, along with Josh Bynes.
From a understanding their assignments, and that sort of thing, Coach. I mean, these guys have played a lot of football. Is it just understanding there's maybe some terminology differences, but they've been pretty good about being where they're supposed to be when they're supposed to be there.
Yeah, yes, they have. And again, the good news is we had so many Zoom meetings in the spring that and we we quiz them all the time and as best we could without physically the guys being here. But that was the one thing I will give the players a ton of credit for, because when we did get back here in July, there was no, okay, what does this mean? They were on it, and the assistant coaches have done a great job with their individual groups of because we knew we can't start from ground zero, with everything starting so late. So they've done a great job with all that. Terminology wise, hasn't been a problem at all.
Coach, how about signing free agent Maurice Smith today? What can you tell us about him?
I had Mo. We had Mo in Miami when I was there. He's played in NFL games. He's one of the few guys that's played. He played at Georgia and Alabama in college, so he's played big time college football, and he's played in NFL. He has a bunch of NFL snaps under his belt. So I think that he's a tough kid. He's got very good ball skills. He's a try-hard guy, and I like the kid, so we'll see how it goes from there.
What have you thought of Winston Rose thus far?
Yeah, it kind of looked like we thought. Now it's he. Funny you ask. We just came off our walkthrough not long ago, and he was on the scout team offense simulating for something for the defense, and I signaled for a guy to go in motion, but it wasn't him. So it was two guys in motion at one time, and I said, hey, Winston, this isn't Canada. They can only move one guy. So he started laughing, and but he's done well. He's gotten his hands on some footballs, and that's what he did up there. It's a transition. It's a different game, and he's slowly but surely getting it. And we're happy with his progress so far.
And whoever wins that position at outside corner, what's a skill that you're going to evaluate the most and you're going to put the most emphasis on in giving that position on week one?
It will be consistency. It always will be. They got to have the skill set to do it, certainly. But it'll be who is the most consistent throughout training camp. Guys that are making plays on the ball and being in the right spot, and overall knowing that, hey, we can trust this guy when we put him out there. So that's pretty much what every position, not just back there.
How different are you at linebacker? I mean, going from starting with brains to athleticism. I mean, is it it seems to be a totally different room. How do you view it?
Yeah. As you know, a bunch of new faces, and Josh Bynes' addition just to mentor those young guys has been it's been phenomenal. They've Coach Golden has done a great job getting those guys together, and it's impressive to watch so far. I'm very, very excited about watching those young guys play.
Are you surprised that Bynes is maybe held on to that spot at as that primary stack backer as long as he had? And I mean, what do you need to see from Logan Wilson and Akeem as you guys finish the rest of camp?
Just keep progressing. They're still rookies, and they're going to make rookie error. And unfortunately, we're all dealing with the same thing. They don't have the luxury of a preseason game to go make some mistakes in a game situation. So they have to get their mistakes out of the way in practice and give them reps. And but they're all making progress. That's the good news.
I mean, y'all gave up more yards in the middle of through the air in the middle of the field than I think every other team in the NFL this year or last year. I mean, do you feel like with the linebackers that y'all targeted, that's kind of one of the reasons why you guys went and got the guys you got is kind of fix that area of the defense?
Yeah, they're athletic, all of them. They can cover. They have shown that so far. We feel like we've improved our team in that area.
Watching Geno Atkins in pass rush, coach, looks like he's got some juice. Last year you mentioned that he had to take too many snaps. It looked like he wore down a little bit, but man, he looks like he's got some juice now.
Yeah, he's an ageless wonder, I guess. He is showing he's had a great offseason, just training wise, and we're being smart with his reps. But he's as sudden, as strong as he's ever been, and he's looking to have a heck of a year.
Coach Carlos Dunlap has also had a pretty good camp. What have you seen from him thus far?
Just again, not to say the same old things, but it's just you got to be consistent, and he's done better with his effort, and he's always been a guy that can get to the quarterback, and but he's a guy that has the ability to be a difference maker on any snap he's out there. So we want him to do that for us on every snap, and he's doing a much better job of that.
More often than not, Lou, LaShawn Sims has practiced with the ones. What are his strengths?
It hasn't been that. I mean, it's been he's been out there, but DP's been on the outside too. We're monitoring that. Those guys kind of battling it out. LaShawn is big, he's long, and he can run. And all he does every day is go out and work hard. He doesn't say a word. So he's getting a feel for things, and he's been in one system for a while, so he's got some things that he's got to still learn, but he's a pleasure to be around. Again, a big, tall corner who can run a little bit.
Daniels, Reader, coach, are they as advertised? I mean, are they giving you what you thought they would?
Yeah, I think everybody again, as we hit these this is the long stretch of camp, I guess you'd say, for the guys, but as the heat settles in, it hits the big guys first,
Right.
And but no, those guys have been those guys have been great, and they got to continue to play that way in order for us to be successful.
Lou, how excited are you to kind of see how all these new pieces kind of play out? And do you feel like you'll get a chance to really get to implement the vision that you wanted when you came here with the guys that you have on the roster right now?
Yeah, I think we're always taking steps forward. That's how we look at it, and I think that it's again, as we all know, it's a unique year. So we just don't. We would have done so much more, again, like every team, earlier in the spring, and worked some other guys in some different positions. Now we're forced to maybe hold off on some of those things until we get going into the season a little bit. But I think at the end of the day, as this thing plays out, we'll get guys I know we'll get guys in the right spot, and they'll know what to do. They'll play fast, and that's what's important. Will it be as big of a package as it normally would be when you had, all the OTAs, all the spring, all 4 preseason games? That's just not reality. So.
What did you learn, Lou, from last year to this year that helped you? What after your first year?
Well, just knowing the guys, and we got here. I hate to go back that far, but getting in here, late, and you just don't ever know your team until you're with them and you work with them. So now, we certainly have a feel for the guys that were here last year, a great feel what they can and can't do. And now working with the new guys, you got a good feel as well, and you can kind of tailor things around that. So, get a better feel for the whole roster, and that's really helped. I got a 1:15 meeting, guys. Is there? Hate to rush it, but is there anything else? I got a time for another question or two.
I got one, Coach.
Sure.
When you talk about, what coaches realizing what the players can do, is it also you got some guys that you've gone through to war with a little bit now, and they can pass on what the expectations are of the coaches?
Yeah, no question. And that goes back to the veteran leadership that we have, as well as adding the guys that we added that are veteran guys. That it goes without saying that they know what it's like to be out there when you just got you got beat on a play, and hey, we got to respond, or vice versa. Hey, made a big play, now calm down. We got to make the next one. It works both ways. So the veteran leadership has been terrific, and we're going to lean on those guys this year for sure.
All right, Coach, we'll let you go. Thanks for your time.
Thanks, guys. Have a good day.